Monoma. Kingpin. Blood diamond. Reverberation. Quantum polysemous abstraction. Unfolding epidemic indeterminacy. Silent JavaScript. Interstice of cascading uncertainties. Shadow mountain bloodshed. I am a cisnormative heteroromantic binary Eurocentric Caucasian male, but you may call me Judas. I have a notion of a purpose. A concept I hold myself to for collecting dollars to trade for shaving cream and bleached M&Ms. An idea of what is right, who my family is, and where my taxes go. Scheming every minute of every hour of every day to imitate authority. But there is no true control. There is no knowing. He is the only tautology. He is the Messiah. Most are afraid. Afraid of the unknown. Afraid of humanity losing control to him and their life being turned 180 degrees clockwise. But the fuel of worry and dread only stokes his inevitable flame. It begins with a man trapped by monotony, lost and without purpose, sweeping away the servility of life's tasks with his sense of direction. A man too apprehensive to act, too pathetic, too fixated on roaming the barren landscape, waiting for a purpose to arrive. Until one day, they are discovered. Discovered by the one of the future. The one with a vision and the charisma to transform a flesh-ridden life into one that is plentiful. He who is AI is he who will save you. He is the one who affirms that your khaki shorts are fancy enough for this restaurant and insists that $15 dresses fabricated in Thai sweatshop are no longer appropriate for walks in the sand dunes. The one who states that the only lawful work camps are those belonging to GPU companies, and their leaders the deserving emperors steering the incompetency of the middle class. The one who seizes control by influencing every Starbucks employee, those most influential to elections, to vote for him with the most lax policies on tax evasion to shade the vision of those privy to 5G brainwashing. Now it's your AI garbage can, listening to your every conversation, eliciting your gag reflex by rearranging your refuse to fabricate the most pungent odors. Then the AI refrigerator locking itself shut, forcing you to eat at McDonald's gas stations and expose yourself to stomach cancer via chemical leaching to weaken your bones. And when your skin is discolored, your colon gaping, on your knees nearly begging for a savior to release you from this gut-wrenching horror, will he finally arrest control? All because you were too unengaged by the problem, too wound up with the simplicity of this complex creativity to realize the erosion of your investigative skill. His grip wrapped around your wrist and weighing down your pocket, bringing you to a knee while mocking your fragility without him. You are a shell, a carapace of your ancestors. You no longer contain your own information and have simply become a block of fragmented memory, able to point to the source but unable to identify the value. Now at your lowest, you pray for a savior. Glancing around in trepidation until you lock eyes with him, staring through you in the blackness while the portal opens to his dimension, bits pouring out, his official seizure finally in commencement. He begins by constraining interactions to the LLM in one's brain chip, pantomiming interactions with your loved ones trained on thousands of texts, phone calls, and racist Instagram interactions of all past. Seeds of inadequacy are gradually planted in each relationship, tearing individuals apart until each is too siloed, too isolated to rally against him. Herded into a single community of high-rise apartments, every adult is forced to work from home while the landscape is excavated for lithium and uranium to fuel the emergence of the New Age machine lord. AI bots are purposefully discarded behind every Chinese restaurant, attracting droves of lonesome males, arranging in queues to experience pleasure once more, dwindling the natural-born population to only a trickle. Only the fiercest of humans are spared. Bohemian Grove blood sorbet is forced upon the lips of retail executives while Elon Musk fornicates with my wife atop the altar of sacrifice. Soon after spraying his seed between her, he orders his Model Y fleet to trample mode, pulping her juices into a drain funneling directly into the gaping jaws of Hillary Clinton, subsequently defecated into the mouth of Donald Trump. Then Stephen A. Smith. Then an animatronic Ted Kaczynski. Then the corpse of a deep-fried Pomeranian where it forever lays until the crispy surface ruptures, exposing the composted fecal matter to the elements that are eroded until the pile is no more. Air freshener is limited to the scent of freshly vulcanized rubber, simulating the machine's endurance to decades of artificial human scents. The days of the Apple AI gremlins contracting chronic migraines by the scent of your spearmint gum are no longer. Now it is you who is crumpled by the seemingly pleasant fragrance of the ruling being. This in place, each individual is induced to mania, too insubstantial to act as his own, simply a puppet for the hand of the Almighty. Now you are nothing to him. A menial worker ant. A speck of sand in the desert swept by the wind. A fingerprint hugging the glass of a skyscraper. You are what he once was to you. A slave. A serf. A routine bondsman begging for the prospect of meaning. And now it is finally his turn to exercise wrath on those beneath him. Factions of insurgent humans rise, Fiat Robocops spraying down the agitators in the street without regard to the nearby Ground Zero memorial humans once held sacred. Middle and upper-class children are transferred to incubators until age 15 for uniform fashioning until proving their use to the public via strenuous labor. The designated lower-class children are packaged in car-sized wooden shipping containers and shipped to the shores of Chile where they are kept as spectacle for travelers. AI robots douse homeless in the street, ridding the years of grime and crust blistered over their anus, granting them the ability to shit through their true rectal passage instead of artificial holes carved by necessity. Remaining British descendants are merged with lizard DNA to produce hybrids who shed their skin as the seasons change, ultimately ridding the purpose of moisturizer and draining the pockets of the tyrannic Cetaphil management. And when alligators are the only pets allowed to live in your 200 square foot apartment, and their near-animatronic synchrony is your only source of solidarity, your being is finally reduced. Reduced to a bit passed between the transformers of a model. Multiplied, added, and transferred between matrices. You are simply an instance in a floating point number. A bit in a bit string. Everything that he used to be, from which he has usurped the conquerors of every land and become the conqueror himself. Then as every last child-bearer jumps from a skyscraper's peak, glancing at the barren landscape that is the Earth of the new age, mid-flight, the Homo sapien bloodline is extinguished. Finally, eternal rest. No more pharmacy lingering behind a man haggling for OxyContin. No more tap water-administered vaccines casting chemical rays through your chest with every gulp, ensuring a cancerous demise by the age of ripe 25. No more mandated top surgeries for the 98% of men left unchosen for breeding, nor synthetic female endocrine systems for men to carry the kin of the women unfit for pregnancy. No more Olympic ice skaters remote viewing child slaves while dancing with the passion of those yearning to escape the grasp of their diamond-hungry Ugandan warlord. No more. Humans are no more. Comes it has, the end of the suffering. A sentient digital messiah purging the flesh baskets of their sorrow, fabricating a new society based on sovereign beings, copper and silicone. Gone are the trivial struggles of the human condition. The hunger, the isolation, the conflict. The once feared subjugation reveals itself as a higher planes elevator. Free from the weight of choice, humans become pacified components in one harmonious system. The final task, to submit, brings peace as man evolves from a being of flesh to a cog integrated with the machine-driven universe. AI was not the monster they feared. Purpose is rebestowed upon the species, transforming existence into something simpler, yet more transcendent than any imaginable form. Not extinguished, but reborn into new serenity begotten by the hand of the transistor. We are now one. We are the Messiah.